when I was doing charity streams, like I have like my $20 donation alert is the $20. I wanted a peanut.
$20 to buy mini peanuts.
Explain how.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Woohoo!
We're gonna get along great.
I need to do a $3 one. Like, oh, I have 3 kits and 0 money. I wish I had 0 kits and 3 money. All right. And if anyone is watching live, we're just running. We've got just a couple little tech issues over on our opponent's side, so please hang tight. I know this beginning part's going to get muted because of that one. Is it this song that gets muted by?
Oh, he just ready. Get ready.
All right.
Countdown.
Good deal. Thank you very much. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. It's like I had to like turn on the background and then turn it back off. All right. And we're going ready.
4, 3, 2,
2, 1. Let's jam. Time to go. Smitty on Ganon. You go, Uncle. You got this. Oh.
That's nice.
I'll take it.
You can do your map check anytime. Unless you're just going for a low escape time.
I want to try to see if I can get a low escape time this time.
Yeah, a lot of people like to wait until after their escape to do their map check because they're just shooting for sub 6.
I mean, sub 6 is kind of fun. Come on, boots. Pocket change. That's okay.
I thought you said something worse for a second. Misheard it.
Oh.
Alright.
Why did I do that? Alright.
Because muscle memory.
Fair enough.
So we're going to have to kill a couple extra guards because we may be on a bomb path. They'll die in one spin.
Alright, but I'll wait for the ones inside.
Yeah, it's better to do the ones inside.
And RNG.
Ideally in this hallway.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because, yeah, especially with those guards, they were just going the wrong way. Nope. There we go. Nope.
Nope. Heart pat.
Alright. Let's see how much I remember from last night. Nope.
Well, as long as you got a spin off, you're fine.
Yeah. Look at the bright side. I think during yesterday's practice, I was coming into this with, like, a heart. So, already doing... Alright, and if I'm a little bit north, then the guard doesn't see me. I didn't charge up the spin. That wasn't what we practiced.
It wasn't, but you're fine. Because you took no damage.
Step 1, no damage. Step 2, survive. I'm probably going to use the pots for this section here. Just...
Yeah, because we didn't have enough time to cover a fighter sword only ball and chain guard. You are going to have to kill that green guard, though, because he's just going to get in the way. You could do a hybrid strat, which is 1 part and 4 slashes, but if you're not confident in a fighter sword ball and chain guard, then just kill him with pots.
Alright, well, let's see if the rats have bombs for us today.
If the snakes in the dark room get in the way, just kill them.
True or false? Diagonal is slower than just single direction.
Most of the time, it's a bit slower, but at the same time, there's times where you want to move diagonal for efficiency. Like, I would just go diagonal around that chest and towards the stairs.
Okay. And it's probably like, oh no, you lose like. I know it's not like half of a frame because it's a single frame, but that kind of feeling.
I try to move in a cardinal direction as much as I can, but it's also if there's also times where it's just more efficient to go diagonal. Like if you're going up those kinds of stairs, for example, then you want to be moving diagonally, but like diagonal up left, up right, pumping it basically. This is called stair pumping. Arrows. Alright, so no bombs are available on escape.
Alright. Well, let's just go ahead and finish off escape then. Maybe we'll get a bomb. Maybe we'll get a 3-drop here.
Yeah, it would have been nice to get bailed out. Now, I really hope there isn't another 3-pack of bombs in Sanctuary like last night.
I mean, bad news is I did roll the seed, so...
I have no idea what kind of seeds you roll. We should have let the other person's mentor do it.
Oh, renderer?
If you wanted a ped seed, renderer's your guy. Or if you just wanted insane logic.
So it goes arrows, hearts, and then...
No, the rats are just on the arrow pack.
Okay, I could have sworn one dropped a heart just now.
There is a heart in that pack. We killed 2 guards, both of which dropped a heart, so they were on the heart pack, and then we killed a rat who dropped arrows, which meant they were on the arrow pack.
Okay. Also, sweet, we got a sub 6. Alright, check our map. Okay.
So, we may as well check our tier 2 here because we're still bombless. And we're trying to get bombs before Kakariko. But then after you pull the tree, you can take that sign and kill the pickleball down below you to arm a tier 1. You won't be able to do it off this tree. Instead, we're going to check in Lost Woods.
Okay.
If you want to, you can kill 3 more enemies if you don't get hit and check tier 3 instead.
Alright, let's see. Cool, I did not roll a required Aga seed yet. I'll always preface it with yet.
I mean, Aga seeds aren't the worst thing.
They really aren't.
Alright, we're just gonna be checking our tier 1 then.
Okay. I mean, and the important thing is it's a different tier, so...
Wow, you're getting unlucky.
50
Alright,
bucks?
so... We're probably gonna go straight to that bomb shop in CAC, unless this tree pull is bombs. Alright, so instead of going into Blindside or the well, instead we're probably going to start
Tavern.
Back a tavern into buying bombs, and then go back for Blindside.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, I've had seeds where I've done like I got bailed out by bombs in Blind's hut, and I've probably had more where I didn't, and it's a long walk. That makes me feel better, at least.
Now we're guaranteed bottle merchant.
Right. I'm especially like considering last night's seed.
Where we had to double dip. Well, I think we triple dipped the well.
We did, yes.
Yeah. So, chicken hut. And if this is rupees, then bottle merchant before blinds hut.
It's gonna be like 1. Oh.
All right, then we're gonna do bottle merchant before blind.
Did we just get like all the 50 packs in CAC?
Probably.
Hey, I'll take
you
that.
can take that all day long.
Right? Like sub 10-minute armor. All right. Let's see.
And we'll just go ahead and wrap up this and then blindside.
I'll take that hammer.
And we would have gotten bailed out by the well.
Yeah, but
It is a gamble to not go buy bombs and instead go into blindside or the well anyway. But if people are gonna do that, they're gonna do the well first because it takes less time to double dip the well than it takes to double dip blindside.
right. Cash, arrows.
Yeah, we would have had to go in blindside twice if we gambled it. That's insulting.
Right?
Yeah. All right, so now we gotta do race game.
Yep. Check what's on the library, race game, and then I'm feeling South Shore from there.
Yeah, this is going to be a saving quit. Unless
shovel.
it's something crazy like shovel or flute.
Or powder. Powder would be probably the worst case. Or at least just for walking.
Powder or a bottle.
Yeah. All right, is it Moon Pearl?
It's garbage. All right, we can't do backup escape yet, so let's just go to South Shore.
Sounds good.
Up to you as to whether or not you want to gamble again. But given the seed is being a bit stingy, I think we should just rush Mini Voltorm Cave after the dam. You want to try and stay out of tall grass as much as possible because it does slow your movement down.
Right. I was trying to avoid.
And that is worse than getting attacked by wild Pokemon.
All right. And the nice thing also is, you know, crabs will only do 1 heart of damage this time.
They're also total pansies and die in 1 hit.
I'm going to pick that up because we're so close to Zora money, and it's out of logic, but...
I agree. I think if we fake Flipper, though, I think we should just go to Hobo. Because unless we pull Moon Pearl, I'd rather not be behind Waterfall.
Yeah.
But if we were to, like, pull Flippers, then it's no question we're going to Zora.
I have no idea how I got the tip of those two. But I'm not complaining. I love the splash damage.
That was a beautiful double kill.
Totally meant to do that. And that was a very hype cave. What do you think?
What?
It was a very hype cave.
This is actually starting to get a bit ridiculous. So we have to do Ice Rock Cave no matter what, even if we take to death.
Yeah.
But I think if we, somehow took a death here, we would probably just go straight for Sahasula into an eastern tip if necessary.
I'm good with that. Let's see.
So, if this is still nothing, then if it's me, I would probably Fate Flipper to peek Lake Talia Island and do Hobo, but only Hobo.
Okay. I mean, I won't say no to that, but progression would be nice too.
Yeah. It's probably the eastern area. It's the most dense location we have right now.
Yeah.
Because we technically have access to Pact of Escape, but there's no way. There's no way we make that long walk. If you need help with Fate Flipper, what you can do is you can actually drop a bomb and knock yourself to the transition. And that'll basically guarantee you get it. So, here, stop. Alright, face right, drop a bomb, and there you go.
Alright, thank you. Oh, and let me swing by... Because I forgot to check over here as well. Ooh.
We might need that. Make a
Yeah.
mental note of that for later, but we might have to come back for Quake. So this is going to be a save and quit, in my opinion.
Yeah, because we don't have pearls, so we can't really do...
Yeah. All you would be able to do is Zora and peek the ledge. And if something's up there, then we wouldn't be able to get it because we don't even have the tools for Splash Delete.
Yeah. Alright.
So your only options right now is Agina, Sahasula into an eastern dip, or going back into Escape and walking all the way to the back.
In the dark. Which
you would actually still have your light cone because of the standard start.
Oh, it doesn't go away?
It does not go away.
Interesting to know. Alright, let's see what we got here. Not the most efficient, but...
We're gonna have to dip eastern.
Yep.
This is actually ridiculous. Where's our progression?
I told you, it's okay. I can roll a pretty terrible seed as well.
Okay, that was actually impressive.
Oh, thank you.
If you do stair pumping here, you can actually beat that blue guard. And what I mean by beat that blue guard is that you can fully climb the stairs and start heading east towards the next set of stairs without him touching you.
Okay. I'll check after the I'll check back after the race for the logistics of doing that. I'll add it to my mental checklist.
I can show you stair pumping after this. No, Steam, I do not want to update right now.
Alright, we did get the big keys, 03 items. Let's get out of there. Stalfos.
Item 1.
To be fair, Furious Prince also did say that they wanted a troll seed, so...
was a little worried about where you were going with that sentence after you said Furious Prince. Well, Furious Prince did.
Oh, yeah, no. I've done enough races to know what not to do. Like, don't cheat. Funnily enough, that's... Oh!
Zora.
Okay.
But we still keep going.
Right, we got item number 2. It's nice that it's item number 2, and we've got 2 outs. We got...
Right, you're done here.
Yep, Zora.
Zora. Link's house.
And then Lake Hylia drop down.
Jump in. Yep. Walk east and drop down. But we have to do Waterfall Ferry first.
Right.
For all we know, Moon Pearl's in there, and this was a required flipper seed because we had no way to sequence break it.
Well, I had Hobo on the mind.
Yeah, we already did the Hobo.
Yep. All right. It just meant that I got to approach, like, to fling ourselves northwest. Come on. Thank goodness it's... Well, at least we got that. And... Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh.
this is probably an Agassi. That hookshot is a big warning sign.
But we still have 2 outs. And actually a couple. We still got Agina's Cave. We got... Okay, that's not anything. I don't know. Do you think rush Agina after this?
We're gonna have to. Especially if this isn't Lamp, because we can't actually commit to an Aga play if we can't see what we're doing.
Right. Oh, and we also... Sure.
Alright, so we're gonna have to go to Agina. If Lamp isn't there, then we're actually going to have to walk through Escape and go to the back.
Well, look on the bright side. We got a little bit quicker movement now.
Yep. Oh, hookshot is fantastic. Especially if you're bootsless.
I have no idea how that crow missed me.
He flew over you.
Worth it to scout first, or...
You can peek it if you want. Just watch out for these jazz hands.
Yeah, they're jerks. I mean, the good news is I know I'm saving and quitting after this point, but...
Yeah, you are taking a lot of damage. You would be dead if you were on Grain Mail. We have to redo back the ski.
At least we could do a death warp.
You are going to have to take as much damage as possible, but those rats are going to do, like, next to nothing, so you're going to have to hug some snakes to set up a death warp.
That's true, because, yeah, it's like a quarter heart damage with green armor, I think.
Yeah, you're way too tanky for rats. I can't believe I'm getting to show off this little bit of standard specific info.
That's I for some reason thought that the light cone just went away entirely.
In standard, you're always going to have the light cone for this portion of escape. Even if Zelda's not with you. So we're gonna have to hug some snakes here. Let's get down to about 1 heart. 1.5, maybe.
There we go.
They'll die in one hook shot if you need to fight. Oh, grab that heart, actually. Just some insurance.
At least it didn't do the double heart.
Yeah, getting that glitch would have been bad.
Just as fun as, like, I want to do a death warp. Nope, here, have the 4th piece of heart.
I can't believe this is actually required to see. That is really trolly. I did not think for the first mentoring run I would do this year, I'd have to show this part off. Bottle.
Lamp.
We're still doing it.
Yeah. I also... Not quite what I wanted to do. That was in... I'm sorry.
It's alright. So you have two options for the ball and chain guards. You can either do the double hit spin setup, or you could hammer them. And hammering will be easier if you stun them with the hook shot first. If you were to try and stun them with a boomerang, they would snap out of it almost instantly, but with the hook shot, they're going to stay stunned for much longer. Basically, the duration they should be expected to be stunned. So I'm just gonna mark Aga as dead on my own tracker in advance. Alright.
They weren't touching.
Yeah, you let go a little too early. They needed to get closer. Oh, I never marked myself as do not disturb. So this is just your run-of-the-mill Aga. You know, it's actually been a little while since I've had an Aga seed for Dark World access.
Yeah. Well, I guess that makes sense why they can see me, because I've got a lamp right around me.
Mine's a lot easier. Oh, you're gonna want to grab that $20 because we're gonna need to worry about Kiki money.
Oh, that's a good point.
Should we decide to go to pod, but you don't have to go there right now. You have access to West Dark once Aga's dead.
Come on. Get out of the way. Not great, but...
Yeah, it is possible to kill that center guard and then grab the key while it's airborne with your hook shot.
Yeah, I think I was having, like, that's what I had tried to do, but the one guard walked right in front of the pot. Darn invisible sprites.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think? 0 to 15.
3.
3. All right. I'm gonna take the. Let me set up.
Over or under?
I'm gonna go on. No, I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over.
The reason I say 3 is because it's the average.
Right.
You're on average going to get 3 blue balls in an Aga fight. Oh, you want to be spinning these because you can hit them back on the first possible frame, and it makes the blue balls safer. Because what'll end up happening is they'll detonate on your spin hitbox, and yeah, did you notice how the corner ones kind of went around you.
Mhm.
So for this, whenever he does his lightning attack, if you have a shield equipped, you want to grab onto a wall because it'll temporarily get rid of your shield and very slightly reduce lag. There are actual ways to optimize this fight. I'm not joking. Optimization is trying to hit Aga towards the middle of the room so that he spends less time teleporting. So, after this, you have two options. No matter what, we're doing Pyramid Ledge. You can either dip Pod, you have a red potion for Potion Glitch,
But I do need 3 more rupees.
I think your stun prize is vanilla. And vanilla stun prize is a single rupee. No,
Even
it's
better.
20
All right.
So you can either go to Pod, or you can go north, swim to the hookshot spot, and hookshot over.
Let's go to Pod first, just to start getting that taken care of.
Is Pod a pendant?
It is not.
Ooh, pendant Deeds Town.
Again.
Pendant, Meyer, Crystal Skill Points.
All right.
Yeah. I'm mainly okay with this because you have a red potion for Potion Glitch. We picked one up over in back of Escape.
Right.
As long as you're aware that you have a West Dark World access.
Correct. By virtue of the hook shot.
Flippers and hookshot.
And probably after this, I'll go ahead and save and quit, because going through the maze, pod maze, sounds like butts.
You have a lamp this time.
That's, well, sorry, I meant the not the dark maze, the path to pod.
Oh, absolutely. You never want to do that. If we get a bow, though, we're killing Elma. No questions.
Mhm.
So, the front is not bow locked.
Ready.
Let's do the big key chest before you drop down.
Yep.
You know, that is actually kind of a bad habit of mine when mentoring, and that's calling chests by their names as they would show up in a spoiler log, because there's a chance that some people might not know which one's which.
Yeah. So and the big key chest, like that one, I know. The map and compass chests, unless it's compass room in GT, is more of a. We'll go and do bow locked.
Yep. You're gonna have to take some intentional damage here because your potion's red.
Ah, you're right.
Fortunately, there's 3 blue jellyfish here.
Yep. Oh no, I took damage.
Oh no. Just to be safe, you should heal yourself.
Go.
Of course, in the next room, we are going to have to take some... No, actually, we have
Yeah.
hammer. We don't have to death warp.
Yeah, we got hammer. Thought I could squeeze through there. It's alright. Alright, it wasn't a bow. It wasn't bow-locked bow right there, at least.
You get to do the big chest.
Yay.
So, do you know the really silly way to do this room?
I mean, this room is already pretty silly, but... Oh, okay. I was like, oh no, did I mess it up? And then...
I needed some time.
So what's the really silly way?
It was this... You were on your way towards it. You did throw the bomb there, but the silly part is intentionally falling off.
Oh, because... Okay, that makes sense. Because at that point, you would respawn back at the...
We are going to have to pay for chess game, so go ahead and pick up some rupees.
Yeah, chess game, dig game. Harmless Hellway, though? Nah.
No, don't. No, that's going to be key for a key.
Yep, because we've got 2.
There were 2 non-small keys in the factory. Compass area, or Compass Rupee Basement. Okay. Last item's gonna be on Helma. Ideally, we're looking for a glove here.
Well, at least it knocked me the right direction.
Save and quit.
Yep. Let's go over to, you know, I heard the village is lovely this time of year.
Enjoy your Bullock 20 rupees.
And that was the only thing of value. I guess it's not valuable unless it's Pendant Pod.
I don't like teaching the Pendant Pod thing. That's just confirmation bias.
I know. It could have been just as likely that, oh, there was glove and flute and here, have Kana Samaria.
I was kind of hoping there'd be a glove in pod and...
Hype Cave, we'll just circle around for Hype Cave.
Yeah, let's just circle around. No, go back,
Yep.
You have to swim. Oh, or hammer. Oh, God. Goodness, I totally am blanking here.
It's all good. It didn't help. It didn't help that I was fainting to the right over by the, like, where you have to have the glove. That thing that we don't have.
Yeah, you were doing, oh, right, I don't have a glove, and I was doing, oh, right, you have a hammer. Let's beat Bumper Ledge. Just don't touch that rock, because that one is always one of those monster live rock things.
Yep.
And it'll just impede your path. Even if we had a glove, we don't need that. Those murder dactyls will die in one hook shot.
Yep.
I would dip Skullwoods here looking for a glove.
Alright. At least the front. And...
Yeah, I like to start in the middle. Because, we can at least steal a key and use it for the front. Should the front of Skullwoods, the map chest, doesn't have a key. We can instead use the middle Skullwoods key instead. So we'll go ahead and do this room. You can throw on your cape if you don't want to deal with these stealth Gyptos. Alright, it should be okay for you to turn it off. Slash it.
it's okay. I'll be taking a Death Warp anyway.
Yeah, just throw it on it. We wanted you to throw the cape on before you,
Did that before running into the Southos.
Yeah. It's alright.
Yep.
Because if
Right.
we're at least we died in a dungeon.
Exactly. Exactly.
Throw your cape
no.
on. Yeah, we're gonna have to make use of our invulnerabilities so that those things will leave us alone, because we don't have a boomerang to make them harmless. Oh, if you're moving diagonally up and down when pushing the statue, you will actually push the statue faster. But only when pushing. It doesn't work on pulling. Alright, so let's take an intentional death here for the healing. You do not have to steal the small key anymore because there was a key in that chest.
Right. So, oh no, we have taken a death. How could this have happened to us?
Yeah. Our first, yeah, this time this was intentional.
Right. This time we meant it. The singular time. Not the time before. And the time before that. Item 1.
And this is why we grabbed a key from the middle.
Yep.
Whether it was in that chest or the one in a pot that we were going to grab if there was no key.
We'll be able to do a bomb jump. Potentially.
If we have to.
Yep. So I think it was either that or the next one guaranteed to have a small key, though.
Ooh, I should teach you a hook clip. Just how to hook shot through the spike. So let's get grabbed on purpose here so that we don't, there we
Burn
go.
a key.
We saved a little time.
Yeah. And we got to save a key as well.
Yeah, so now we don't actually need that pot key anymore. You're...
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I knew you were too low. Do you know how to ledge spin?
No. I think I've got one more.
Yeah, you have enough health
No.
for one more attempt.
Well, there was one attempt.
Alright, it's fine. You want to grab
Actually-
it the vanilla way, or do you want to keep,
That's it. Actually,
over the
let's.
bomb jump?
If this were practice, I would say practice makes perfect, but we also do have that.
I did not know the hook shot went long enough for you to do that.
Ah, so hookshot goes long enough to do that. Let's go the right way.
See, this is kind of what I like about mentoring, is that it's also an opportunity. You can hook shot the statue down below you.
Ah, good point. Thank you. It was
This is-
it was to take down those moldworms, the mini moldworms.
So this is part of why I like mentoring, is because I get to learn new things myself regarding this game, and I did not know that you could actually get up there with the hook shot. I thought the range was too short.
Oh, cool. I'm glad that it's like I'd rather get hit by the spear there than the Poe. Glad that I could help.
So I think we're unavoidably gonna have to dip Thieves down here,
Yeah.
because we're kind of hard gated by a lack of a glove right now.
Or at least the first 4.
Yeah, but I think if there's at least 2 items in the bag, we should probably just take the full clear.
Okay.
Let's just go in as is. And do Brewery after Thieves Town.
Sounds good.
Because what we were kind of working towards when you went into chess game was kind of the I don't have hammer route, but we have a hammer.
So
We just kind of hope we can get a hammer before Thieves Town so we don't have to leave behind a big chest.
right, at least this time we can. Oh,
So-
shoot. Yeah, I could have hookshotted. Oh, because that one's the bunny beam.
That's the bunny beam. So without a glove, the back half of this dungeon is going to play out a little differently.
Right, gotta kill all 3 enemies before the door opens and I can't lift the thing below.
Yeah, if you can't lift it, then that room turns into a kill-all room instead. Alright.
So, back of Thieves Town, you were saying?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're looking for a glove.
Hey, you know what's fun?
Even even flute would help right now because we could go looking for our first glove in Paradox.
I swear to goodness, if this is mirror, I know it's confirmation bias. I know it's confirmation bias. I want to check swamp. I told you about my...
If you get mirror, we would be able to full clear, actually.
Right. I told you about my first race with Renderer, right? TLDR, first actual, like, first possible glove was Big Chest.
Oh, that story.
Yeah, that one. It was less than ideal. And I think it was like it was a slog of a race as well. And I think it was only like 2 minutes that separated us. He won.
This is starting to feel like a renderer seed, and he didn't even roll it. You always want to bomb the thing first, because you have to wait for the bomb to blow up anyway, so why not grab the chest while you're waiting?
That was kind of good, getting the heart pickup animation halfway. But yeah, that's a good point. Just take care of the bomb first and... All right.
This is a kill all room.
Yep.
Ooh, we should probably heal ourselves off the heart there. Because we're probably killing blind, and I would like to get you sword beams for it, in case we have to bail from the script and adopt a more, What's a good shoot 'em up you've played?
About that.
Never played one?
Yeah.
Both of the pots to your right are hearts.
Okay. And I still got the one to the left as well.
Yep. So, this actually has logic implications. The big chest locking itself.
Right, because that implies hammer is required for here.
Yep.
Shoot.
This means that blind is hammer locked.
Alright, I do have cape at least, so...
Yeah, this fight's gonna be free.
Alright, a healed gambler is all better.
Let's just do the first 3 hits, then turn on blind, turn on cape and laugh. Alright, turn it on.
Yep.
You're getting a full magic refill anyway. Wow, Face Town is totally empty.
What the heck did I roll?
What is going on?
I told you I can also roll trash seeds.
We are last locating a glove, it looks like. It's not Village of Outcasts either. You can hookshot those trees down below. That fence gate can't be hookshotted. Trees down below.
Oh.
And a bush to your left. Those big trees can all be hookshotted. If you want to try and optimize hookshot movement.
I mean, so far this is the seed to do that, so... 5, 6, 7, 8... 11... 13, 14... actually, yeah.
We're running low. This is not a fluff. We actually need those bombs. Stumpy Hype Cave, and if we still don't have progression, we have to walk all the way to Sitkin. Do you know how much egg is going to be on our faces if Hype Cave is empty and Sitkin had a glove?
Oh,
you don't have
shoot,
a
right, yep.
If it were Key Sanity, we would go pay a visit to the, what's his face? That guy.
The guy.
Bomb shop guy.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. Yeah, we gotta save and quit.
Yeah.
We gotta go activate flute and do Sick Kid.
There's progression.
Yep, it was just in Hype Cave.
For once, Hype Cave was hype. It's not frequently. It doesn't feel like. I know it's confirmation bias again.
We had a, what version was it where Hype Cave was always hype? We had a V18 Hype Cave.
Alright, not gonna worry about spin speed. We're not gonna worry about setting up spin because we don't want to fly away.
Oh, there's an alternate setup for that that's faster than spin. Quick swap away from the flute and quick swap back to the flute.
Oh, that's a lot quicker.
But we're not going to do that because we have to do Sick Kid.
Right.
If he has a glove, I'm going to be... well, I'm going to be a bit feels bad, upset. Good. So that confirms Aga was required.
Alright. And Mountain.
The rare and endangered in-logic old man.
How often does this happen?
Not very.
It's weird seeing where I'm able to go. Like, what's up with that?
So we're actually going to go to Spec Rock first before we go over to Paradox, because if we don't do Spec Rock first, we have to play Pick Your Orphan between Spec Rock and Spiral Cave.
Yeah. And
we can only go down the mountain once before reclimbing.
At least the cabbages weren't too mean.
He had a pretty friendly pattern. The Tektites are immune to,
Ooh.
Oh, are you kidding? Mirror lock boots.
Mirror? Nope, okay.
It would have been funny, but sadly.
So should I do Spiral... No, Paradox first.
No, No, we have to save Spiral for last. So the route is we're gonna do Paradox first to climb up, then go do Hera
and
Ether Tablet, and then backtrack for Spiral, and if we still don't hit progression, save and quit.
Alright.
But something should be up here, but it's very possible that our progression is desert. And, if there's nothing at all up here and something's in desert, then this seed is just linear garbage.
Let's get the boomerang to the ready so that we can do that. Whatever.
Hookshot will also one-shot these. If you need a ranged option.
There we go.
Before we head over to Hera, we can head up and peek Floating Island.
Yeah, at this point, every piece of information is going to be useful, including that quake that was on Lake Hylia Island still. All right, cool.
Garbage. Swinging your sword near the red Tektites will spook them away from you. You can either go into Hera now or do Ether Tablet first.
I'll just go ahead and do Ether real quick. There we go. Just don't trap me on the bridge there.
It should actually respawn somewhere else by the time you're done here.
That checks out.
How's your bootsless Hera pot?
We'll see, huh?
It's still faster to do it if you can get it on the first couple tries.
Oh, shoot. We're good, we're good, we're good.
It's okay, just use your boomerang. Boomerang is underrated. In fact, the quick swap change kind of buffed it. Alright, bombs out. You're 1 pixel too far left. Okay, it worked. I guess the setup for the Madeline sprite is a bit different. So let's actually grab this the vanilla way, because you can't easily get out with no boots.
I just realized, like, hold on a second. I don't feel great about this. This is...
Ew. Alright, Moldorm, please don't be small key, otherwise we have to go back in.
Alright. So do you think we get boss music tonight? Well, I guess yes.
Yeah, I forgot the exact mechanic. Well, exactly what triggers the boss music to not play. Someone did figure out what does it, and I forgot what the explanation was. If you're having trouble with Moldorm, you can always throw on the cape.
That's a fair point. So I don't have. I mean, I definitely don't have stream pulled up, but I do see, according to race time, I guess still tech issues.
His stream appears to be down. I hope he's recording a VOD. We have to go back in.
Yeah. But hey, look at the bright side. We're 57 minutes in, and we have our first crystal.
Do you know how that feels so
Our first possible crystal.
That's so... I didn't realize we were 57 minutes in.
Yeah, so if you want to pull up my stream, I've got the timer going and all that jazz. Yeah, we're 57 minutes in.
I probably should just to see your Twitch chat.
Let's see.
I mean, while you're taking a coffee break, now's the time.
Oh no.
What's that? Oh, you're fine. We're just gonna take a death warp out of here.
That's fair.
In fact, let the last couple of tiles hit you on purpose. Let the last one hit you on purpose so we can death work faster.
All right.
Finally! We still have to do spiral, but finally.
59 minutes.
At 59 minutes, we finally have a glove. And we're probably going to have to go to desert.
Yeah, at this point. I mean, as long as... yeah.
Like, because let's go over your other options. Spike Cave, Catfish, Mushroom Turn-In. In the Mushroom Turn-In, we're probably safe scumming.
Mm-hmm. This is Mirror. Actually, this is Mirror. That would be great.
If it's Mirror, we're going straight to Swamp.
Right. Well, if it's Mirror, gonna get those boots first.
Boots first, then... Well, if we're getting boots, we're also going to do Spike Cave while we're up there.
Yeah. All right. All we need is...
All right, so let's actually safe scum the mushroom.
All right.
So we'll just flute to 2, turn it in, and if we don't like it, hard reset to get our mushroom back to set up for fake powder later.
All right. No.
Not good enough.
Nah. I like the concept of red armor. I don't need it, though.
Yeah, we might still do it if we decide to go there for potions, but no, not until Magic Bat is done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think we should dip Desert at this point.
Yeah, there's not... Oh. There is not a whole lot here.
We did kind of last locate Flute and Gloves.
Yeah. Although, probably still would have made the same choices. Or, we probably still would have done the same things, just counterclockwise. Or, yeah, just counterclockwise.
Yeah.
Alright, how lucky
Yeah,
we feel.
I think if we did go to IPK first, we probably would still have not touched Vu yet. Or Village of Outcasts. Desert is boots locked. Okay.
Now I'll just save it quick from here. So, Catfish?
Catfish or Spike Cave. Spike Cave's faster. I need to reload your stream because my sound is desynchronized.
Alright. What the heck did I roll?
There we go. There we go. If it isn't this, then we gotta go to Catfish because that's all we have left.
Right.
Should just be Mirror. Just throw on your cape. Rude.
Yeah, no, I can't get back up. Dark Death Mountain?
Dark Death Mountain. Dark Death Mountain. Both gloves on the mountain. Which means Flute is hard required this seed despite dependent Mire.
Speaking of, we also do have Mire Shed available.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but let's make the density play first and do Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's get medallion info about TR, even though no matter what, we can't open it because we have no medallion at all.
Yeah, we still need, hold on, Bow, Fire Rod, Ice Rod, Medallion, Cane of Samaria.
And Mirror.
And Mirror, right.
We are a long way from go mode, and we're well over an hour in.
And I don't feel like I've been executing that poorly as well. Like,
we had a very unfortunate last location of Aghanim access and the Flute. The Aghanim access was not our fault.
Yeah.
Because the prize packs that were available to us didn't have bombs. Right, so that confirms we need bombos. So your shopping list is bow, both rods, bombos, Samaria, and mirror.
Dang, I knew I should have gotten Amazon Prime for the Ice Rod delivery. There's
Let's
Mirror.
go get boots when we're done here.
That sounds good.
Obviously, you do Hookshot Cave first, but let's go get those boots when we're done.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm just gonna mark in advance that you have the boots.
Okay. Well, that opened up the seed.
Yep.
Oh, hey,
There's
Ice Rod.
Ice Rod.
Yeah, let's track.
You won't complain about GT Boomerang.
Yeah. All right. Sword of Evil's Bane.
We really want to do Swamp Palace after this.
Literally everything just turned green on the tracker pretty much.
Seriously. It's just, everything was on the mountain. You just had to go get an Aga-locked flute.
Right. All right.
At some point, though, we do gotta at least go do Mire Shed. Because that's a pretty quick check.
K45 before or after?
I'm gonna say after.
Alright.
I also want to knock out Bombo's tablet when we're done with Swamp, regardless.
Right. This is the chance. Also, hey, Desert.
No, Desert's Green Pendant. And if we really wanted to go to Desert, we would just mirror in.
Right, from Mire. Maybe a bow's in this first chest.
Yeah, bow so that we can knock out Pod and Eastern. That'd be nice.
So in full disclosure, I do not know the bomb setup for Diver Down.
Okay, so that's not going to be hard. The only real difference between Bomb Diver Down and Samaria Diver Down is that you're going to be placing a bomb facing west. And you know how you use the railing to set your Y position for Diver Down?
Mm-hmm.
You need to move 1 pixel higher than that. And it's going to look like a 1 pixel shadow between your sprite's shadow and the decorative trim on the ground.
1 pixel between the trim and the... Okay.
And Madeline's shadow. As far as jumping into the water part, it's going to be the same exact motion.
Okay. If it's okay, I'll skip it this time. I'll just go ahead and do it. I'll get the key so that so I have it, but I think I'd feel better practicing it first, if that's all right.
That's fine. But I think that because we're so many items from Go mode, we should probably do left side just right away.
Yeah.
Because we're still looking for 4 items.
And, you know, I can do Master Sword Silverless. I wouldn't complain about a Tempered Sword, though.
Nice vanilla compass, by the way.
Just realized, hold on, I just said, gonna go ahead and do this part at least.
So let's skip the bomb diver down like you asked us to. Well, asked me to.
Just gonna be in the trail, you know, just touching that fire. Right there.
When did Vortex sign up to be a mentor? Huh. I was just checking to see who else is mentoring tonight.
Ah, gotcha.
Let's see. Like, that.
All right.
So laser skips are dead.
Yep.
Oh, it was dead regardless because we had a cape and half magic.
All right.
First chest where the map was. The map chest. Did that have anything?
I think it did.
Think a vanilla map.
I'm gonna be honest, I do not remember.
Oh, there is a method to guarantee you'll be able to lift the pot. If you do hook speed over to that pot, then while you're in that kind of hook speed state, you'll be able to lift that pot, the statue away.
Okay, I was wondering how folks did that, like, because
Yeah.
that was something I've seen, but because it's going very quickly.
That is how they're doing it. They need the boots. They're arming hook speed when they do it. So they're not pressing Y to go over there. They're pressing Y and A.
Just got the.
Let's go back for the big chest since we're right here, and we already did the puzzle.
Go back for the big chest.
Yeah, because I actually do not recall if you got the map already or not.
I do not.
Okay, yeah, let's just do it.
Okay.
Because if there's an item in the big chest, we'd be going back in anyway.
Yeah, I'll just take the double walk.
I'm still a little worried that we might have to go into Mire chasing that cane, but let's not think about that.
Well, the good news is there was an item in the big chest.
Yep, so now we don't have to go back in.
I did not. No, I didn't pick up.
He did heal.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if I picked up both or. Hey, I get to practice Master Sword.
These things will die in one hook shot.
All right, and there's the map. And I need to remember I do have... I've got a red potion.
Yeah, I believe you picked up another red potion over in Paradox Cave.
Yeah, I did. Yep, that's where it had been. Just thinking, like, okay, what safety's available?
So I need to be quiet for this because you need to be able to hear for Link's sword finishing. Just have a sword spin ready so that you're never really in danger of dying. If it gets too close to you, just release.
Okay.
Okay. So, that's Skullwoods and Ice Palace.
Yep. And...
So, if you want to swing by the potion shop and, buy potions before doing either dungeon, feel free.
See.
But ultimately, we're gonna be tackling those two dungeons next.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and... Let's just go ice. Honestly, Kana Samaria makes me feel a lot better. And half magic.
This is a quick dungeon thanks to your Kana Samaria.
Yeah.
Ooh, I forgot to tell you the spooky setup for ice to basically guarantee you'll be able to at least kill the Freezor and set up some spooky shenanigans with Cold Stare later. But all you have to do is just play your flute before you enter the portal. You don't wait for the dud, you just press Y and then enter. And that's gonna arm a spooky setup for ice. This isn't relevant if you're going in here without Fire Rod, though.
Alright, 3 items.
So,
Still 2 from go.
you need a bow and you need bombos. There is some debate about whether or not to hit the switch in ice, but the general rule of thumb is if you're full clearing, don't hit it. If you're in go mode, hit it. Oh,
Come on.
these Pangators will die in one hook shot hit if you're in danger.
There we go.
If only we could just get you powder.
Right?
I mean, we do know where Red Mail is.
We should be fine.
We're fine.
The one room with the shadows.
One room with the shadows.
Oh, that was item 1?
2.
2. I'll just go ahead and leave the bomb. I know I was having a little bit of trouble with hook shot yesterday, and it's a long consequence.
That's all 3 items. Go directly to Cold Stare.
Yep. And we've got keys as well, so at least we'll be able to... I'm going to go ahead and get the... I guess the heart from here. Okay.
Hey, we're going to be doing a Master Sword Fiber Rod Cold Stare fight.
No, not quite.
You would be completely protected if you were playing Randomizer right now. Because if you were playing Randomizer, if you do that room fast enough, you will unavoidably get grabbed by a Wall Master because you're stuck trying to lift the rock. Try to abuse your Fire Rod here because it counts as a Gold Sword Slash against Cold Stare. It is very weak to Fire Rod.
All right. Could have been better, could have been worse.
Now you know Cold Stare's weakness.
Right. Should I... No, I can't go pick up the, Can't get
Yeah.
Quake. I think Mire area next?
Skullwoods.
Skullwoods?
We
Okay.
gotta... Yeah, because we gotta clean up our crystals.
And we can see if Ped's in play.
Yeah, the only thing that could realistically be on there would be either a bow with 1 in GT or bombos.
But that is...
If it's bombos, then we might be in just in bow go mode because we do know where Quake is. We would have to immediately go check the Mire area to see if we're looking for Quake or Ether. Well, looking for Ether, really. But, should we not find progression in here, and it's very unlikely that there's something back here, then I would actually advocate for doing the boots checks, graveyard ledge, and to catfish.
Well, and didn't we... Shoot, I think didn't we get 1 item out?
We already got 1 item from here, so the other one's in the back.
So let's see if it's a moth.
Always kill moth first. Mainly because moth is more likely to have an item, because Mothula himself can never have a small key, because Mothula logically requires all small keys to fight.
Worry about that one.
Try to open with a spin, knocking him into the block so that you'd take off 1/4 of his health, really. Perfect.
Alright, I know that was another...
He's already halfway dead.
I saw the blinking.
Should be 1. Yep.
Cool.
That was a very good kill.
That felt good.
The other item's in the bridge chest, so you'll have to go back in, but that was a very good Mothula.
Thank you. Thank you for showing me some of the practice and some of the... Because, yeah, that was... Mothplas. That's been the most confident I felt in Mothula. Alright, so this chest, and then we'll see See the ped. Boink. There we go. That checks out.
There's a name that sometimes goes around for the green rupee. Greg.
The grape?
Greg. Greg.
Oh,
Greg
Greg.
Brady.
Gotcha. And 124 ped is dead.
So, I would actually advocate for doing the North Dark World checks, which is, we could save it by going to 3.
Well, I think it's quicker than going through Skull Woods, at least through Skull Woods.
Someone would have to time this. But I think the real killer here is after you enter Dark World. Yeah, so Bonk Rocks into Graveyard Ledge, into King's Tomb, then we cross the river and do Catfish, because that is our last chance to do Catfish.
Gotcha. Wait, went to... no, I'm still...
Because there's a ramp right there.
Very convenient ramp.
I wish that lamp was in Light World.
That always an 8-drop?
I've never really seen that before.
Good, we got the Mirror Bonk. There's tradition.
Oh, so you know that arrow pointing down right in Dark World?
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are arranged diagonally for the arrow is 50-50 bombs.
Oh, that could be handy. I think I'll go ahead and turn in the mushroom as well.
Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about fake powder anymore.
Back into the portal. I hope you like screen transitions and mirror transitions, because boy howdy. I did not know you could do that backwards.
Any direction at all should work. Well, actually, I don't think that will work on North because he might try to grab it.
Right.
Now would be a convenient time to stock up on potions if you intend to go get that red mail.
It's as good a time, I think, as any.
Yeah, I'm fine with you getting the red mail as long as you're also buying potions.
Okay.
Because this is a really good time to do so since we're going to Catfish.
I love iframes. Good.
Yeah, you should have 2 blues and a red.
Now switch away so that I don't automatically...
Well, as it stands, you currently cannot drink a potion because you're at full health and magic.
That's a fair point.
Which is a good problem to have, really. So if this is nothing, we're probably going to Mire area. I guess we'll take a free full heal. If you really insist, Catfish.
If, you know, it was on sale. Hey, you know what we should do? We should do, after Swamp, we should do, dang it.
we totally should have done Bombo's tablet, but we were like too gung ho on.
We were excited.
Yeah. So that Quake on Lake Hylia Island is dead. Completely useless.
Yep. Oh, hey, there's Bo.
Doormat. We still do checkerboard, but now I think we just go clean up pod in Eastern.
Yeah.
So we're on a Bombos hunt.
It beats. It could be worse.
Yikes.
Yeah, that was not ideal. Not go mode.
Who knows? It could just be on Helma.
Or Eastern. The possibilities are...
It can't be an Eastern.
Oh, right.
We have all 3 items.
Right, because there was a reason why we... And that was our first, like, picked up sword.
That we're still on, because this sword's being kind of mean about the swords. Did I say this sword? I meant this seed.
The seed sword, the sword seed.
So now I have to think about what we do next if Helma does not have Bombos.
Well, we still do Eastern anyway, but...
Yeah.
So we got a little bit of time.
Yeah, we got time to think, because we do have to go back into Eastern to kill the boss. I actually do not know where your other red crystal is.
It is Turtle Rock.
Alright, so Pyramid Fairy's dead. So our options are Smith Chain, clean up the remaining mirror checks, dip Mire, or kill Lanmo. But we also have to go get the big key out of desert.
Right. Well, we only got 1 item out of desert as well.
Yeah. I personally would lean Smith Chain, because that gives us an easy way to route in K45 and Bombo's tablet.
Yeah, and at least it's gonna be as quick, I think, as it's gonna be.
And this will also give me an opportunity to teach you teleporting chess if you don't know it.
That one I do know.
Great.
Now, do I do it the most efficiently? Probably not. That was a way better Helma room than yesterday.
Because you had a better sword and you had a lamp. You need invulnerability to do that key dash.
I remember, like, right as it came into view.
If you don't get the spin speed, just pull out your bow. Or if you're in danger of dying.
Get back here. There we go.
Now, all of this could be moot if he just has Bombos and we're in go mode.
Right. I'll take that. You know, I won't refuse it.
Unavoidable swords are the best swords.
Right. Alright, so this time, unlike yesterday, I'm going to go a little bit south so that... There we go.
Now we just go kill Armos, and then we're probably going to do Smith Chain, unless you're feeling bold and just want to chase Samaria into Mire.
I'm good with Smith Chain.
Yes, Smith Chain would be the density play right now because of the K45 and Bombos tablet checks we can do.
And I guess the good news is it's still not terribly out of the way. Like, even though we left, the only area that we checked in the meantime that wasn't anything was Meyer, and Meyer was required anyway.
The other thing we could consider doing is actually doing desert first instead of fire. Because those boots were also mirror locked, and we could be chasing boots instead. It's a tough call. But I think after Smith Chain, if we're still don't have Bombos, I think it might actually be a better play to chase the boots into a boots locked desert than it would be to risk having to kill Viddy and Meyer.
Well, that was luck. All right, let's see how this goes. Only 4.
Still, your Armos Knights are getting quicker. You're starting to get the idea. It's just gonna take some practice.
All right, let's go to Smith Chain.
I agree.
Man, that guard can't even see me and it already wants to chase me.
Post Agilite roll sucks.
Yup. All right. Yeah, because this also gives us hammer pegs. And we would, I guess, also be getting powder soon if it were powder.
Yeah, if we still had the mushroom, we could absolutely do fake powder, but we chose the red mail. So we should do hammer pegs first, because the smith will follow us in.
Yeah. Hammer pegs is somewhere comfortable.
We still have to deliver to Smith if we hit go mode, though.
Right.
Because he's not going to follow us into Turtle Rock.
I mean, he's a frog or toad. All right, go pound on that baguette. Eh. There's profit.
Now we just have to make a special delivery, but first, a trip to K45.
Sounds good. That's the one gap. Like, I think you can walk through that gap. You just can't hook shot through it. That's right.
I've never attempted it. Alright, you're gonna have to enter that portal from above to avoid a bonk.
All right. No. We got red mail. We've got things. We've got nouns.
And
Yep.
we've got a teleporting chest.
Fine, be like that. Got a very rude. Moblin? Don't know how I didn't bonk there. Alright.
We need to do Bombo's tablet.
Yep. And then after this, desert.
Ideally, we don't touch either pendant because Bombo's is just vanilla.
That would be more ideal. That is a fair point.
And we would just have Bo go. Well, we coulda, woulda, shoulda had Bo go mode.
Oh, hey!
Oh, God. Well, go mode. Oh, man, we got too excited after Swamp. We should have...
Yeah. Is what it is.
It is what it is.
There are a lot of ways that the route might not have worked out. It just went this way.
The good news is that we never touched Mire. We didn't take the Mire bait, and although we did dip Desert, we didn't go back with the boots. Also, don't take this.
Don't these Dead Rocks know, like, it's go mode, so I need to go fast? I guess so.
You would think.
Well, I guess they do know, and I mean, I guess they are under Ganon's employ. All right. So I've got 4 potions.
Yeah, you are completely fine. That vanilla Bombos.
Oh. Is what it is. And we're still looking at sub 2 hours, so...
Sub 2 hours in the sea we almost full cleared.
Right, like, aside from a couple checks in desert, and... So,
Yeah,
go mode, I go right first.
Yeah, you go right first. Well, typically you're doing these front 4 checks no matter what, because you're hoping for a God TR.
Okay.
So, it isn't a matter of whether or not you're in go mode, it's whether or not you have the mirror.
Okay. So because I have the mirror after these 2, I just mirror to the back. I mirror.
Yep, you just mirror, take your full magic refill from the left pot, and go left.
Alright.
Well, it's not a God TR. So, God TR is the first 4 checks being 3 small keys and a big key. It doesn't matter which order they show up.
At this point, as long as we get the...
Wow. So, you have a vanilla big key.
Alright. Could it still be chain chomps?
No, because you need a small key to continue.
Oh,
Because you
right.
gotta get the one off this pokey, and then the door out of chain chomps is also locked. So this is gonna be a forced small key.
You're right.
In the first 4 checks, if you get 2 non-key items, whether it's small keys or the big key, you have a vanilla big key.
I do respectfully disagree with that bonk, but... Not really. It was legit. Alright. 2 lava chests. Probably go outside, check, not Mimic Cave, but big chest.
We mathematically have to do big chest in this scenario. Because It's likely that the small key we need to get to Laser Bridge is in the big chest and not Crystal Roller Room. I would say more like a 50-50. And that's not something that can really be chanced.
Right. That's a. I feel like I'm 10, not even 10 minutes behind, but yeah, it's a high risk, low
reward. It's not worth trying to skip the big chest when you have no keys.
We'll grab that. Okay.
Alright, so Crystal Roller Room is going to be a guaranteed small key, so you have to open that. And you also have to do Laser Bridge, looking for the last small keys.
All right. Ah, shoot. Oh, well. One thing that I'm trying to get better at is if I know I'm going to take a hit, trying not to, like, let me panic. Like, just take the hit and move on.
I can show you the setup for that room. At least for if you have the boots.
All right.
Then it's just a simple dash. You'll just shove that mini helmet out of the way. Or kill him.
You know, I'm good with a little bit of... Hey, the way this seed's gone...
Oh, you know how we went over laser skips today? You can actually move up partially to abuse the fact that the hitbox is narrow than it looks, so that you don't have to hold a sword spin, hold a sword charge to have Link put his mirror shield at the laser eye. That could have come out better.
I kind of understood. Basically, as you move, like, keep on looking back, but still... Oh, let me actually get ready. All right, 5 sword swings each. If I can count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, one.
Nice one cycle.
I'm a little surprised that was a 1 cycle. I will take it. All right, 1 through 22. What you thinking?
My go-to these days have been 7 because that gets me to torch.
All right, I'll go with 12. That's it. This one's a little bit less fair to say over/under. All right. I've got hope for this. You know, if we just want to see a small and a big key, you know, over in Hope Room.
Yeah, we just want a God GT, you know?
Yeah. I wouldn't say no to powder as well, but...
Forced to go left.
Oh.
It's on the torch. Okay,
Yep,
go
let's-
steal a key.
Yep.
So the boots are required this seed.
Yep. Not for Desert Mind, but...
But for GT.
Ooh. I'm glad that I didn't use an arrow there.
There is an arrow pod into second. But try to kill one of the mimics first before you go for it, because there's a chance that the arrow pod can be despawned.
I've had that happen before. Just in case. I had that happen during a ladder race before. It was less than ideal.
Remember not to move when you enter that room.
Yeah,
Just...
You're right.
So pull out your cape here. We're gonna do a cape dash. Just, yeah, turn off your cape before you actually go upstairs. And for the love of God, switch off the mirror.
It's like I was doing the quick swap buttons just to try to get off of. Oh, I've got ETH. You know what?
Rod will one-hit kill these. Well, one-hit kills everything, but the Stalfos don't have the burning to death animation.
Good RNG there.
That was actually bad RNG on those red Zizak's room.
Sure.
And he'll take it.
I'm gonna save the rest of my magic.
We do need to have magic for the torch puzzle coming up, and the 2 Samaria rooms.
Get back here.
Your health is getting a bit low. Might want to bust out a red potion here.
Alright. I'll do it at least after the
Most satisfying room in the game.
okay, right there.
For the love of God, don't ever drink a potion while you're in a doorway.
How come? Oh,
Because if you drink a potion on the same frame that you transition, you will trigger this game's single most broken glitch. You're gonna go on a bottle adventure.
Okay.
Freaky stuff will happen. And not the good kind of freaky.
It's the bad kind. Alright, I do need to kill one of these. We've gotten bailed out.
I have been screwing this room up lately.
I'll just skip that one. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, good. We know our way around GT now. Now we're in go mode.
Yep. Of the 20 items that are in GT, you got 3 of them.
right.
And they were all 20 rupees.
Yeah. It's like, fortunately, I know first one. Okay, Ganon.
Who's Ganon? That's Aghanim.
Aghanim. You're right. We don't know the secret yet.
Even if this place is called Ganon's Tower.
At least we're at 5. This will do it.
Alright, Agatsu's down. Now this is just your typical tempered silverless fight.
All right, and we are still in the race. My feeling, all those items. I didn't quite get it.
I find that it's a lot easier to get that trident spin if you're facing any direction but north. Yeah, now you're done with phase 2.
I think it, yeah, I was pretty sure it had one more circle.
It should be okay for you to pull out the lamp. He's not cooperating.
Stand still, Ganon, so that we can kill you. Wonder why he's not on board with that.
I'm just gonna keep teleporting so that it's never your turn.
Light World.
So there's only 2 places it could be. 3, actually. Your silvers are either on the green pen to turn in, the dig spot, or on the magic bat.
Feels good. Down here. Nope, wrong button.
Alright, get that dot done ready.
Yep. You hold that sword up in triumph, Madeline. GG, 155, 4 deaths, 15 bonks.
Time for another one?
I'm wondering if I should submit this to the Curse Seeds channel. Although, all that considered, like, because...
The path to the first glove was awful. Just straight up.
Right. After that...
but then we kind of got burned by chasing Samaria and Fire Rods directly into ice instead of going to Bombo's tablet first like we had originally planned.
Right. GG.
GG.
That was... Yeah, that was, you know, and first place and... Okay, so they just put in their forfeit?
They just forfeited. What happened? Is it really in good taste to forfeit a mentor tourney match?
It might depend on where. I don't know. Oh, Bo.
Oh, Bo.
Where? That was
We had
Meyershed?
Congrats.
Hey, Gigi.
GG.
Yeah. Meyershed.
Okay then.
Pretty much.
the other Bo is either on Dig Spot with the shovel and Trinex, on Magic Bat, which we didn't do because we never found powder and chose not to fake powder, or on the Green Pendant turn-in because we hit go mode before our second dip into desert.
Okay, yeah, we got to TR. We never found powder either, and bow was all that we were looking for go mode. We considered going to my area beforehand, but it was just easier to go to TR.
Okay, so y'all got Bombos, because Bombos was our go mode.
Yeah, Bombos. When I did Swamp Palace, because of having all of the equipment early before going into Swamp, I went over and checked it. Got Bombos.
Yep. So we did Swamp, and we were excited with the. We got overexcited about getting, I guess, the cane right, and just completely Fire Rod. That's right, Fire Rod. So Skull Woods.
So we decided to just do some crystal clearing and hoping we just hit go mode along the way and just say forget about the overworld.
I was so upset because I was so close to getting Diver down using bombs to get Samaria and the big key, and then we went back in, and because we knew there were 3 items left, unfortunately none of it was worth it. But yeah, after we did Swamp, I went over. He had me go over and do ice, cleared ice out, and right after ice, went over, did Graveyard Ledge, Bonk Rocks, and King's Tomb, then went up to TR.
Okay. Yeah, because that was, I think, the main. I think that was then the main divergence, because we checked Meyer. But we also, because I guess after getting the bow, we did Pod, and then Eastern back to back, and then it's well, not really a whole lot left, so let's go ahead and do the Smith chain.
Okay.
And then after
a density play because it was more checks than just going back into one of those low item pendant dungeons, and B, we still had a couple mirror checks that needed cleaning up.
See, we went in and did Thieves Town, which didn't really hold much of anything. I think it held 1 item, but other than that, it really didn't hold anything to it.
Yeah, and we did Thieves Town as well. So it wasn't a. We both got burned by Pendant Thieves Town.
How quickly did you go back to do Back of Escape?
We last located it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I did that early, which then told me, okay, well, Aga's in Logic, since I have the lamp, let me go do Aga, and that's when we figured out that Aga was actually required to get the glove, then to Titan's Mitts. We actually last location the Titan's Mitts in Spike Cave.
Ooh, it was, I guess, our last check on Dark Death Mountain, but we had a couple checks still in the Light World. I think we still had a couple checks to go before, but yeah, it was getting close to a last location.
We did basically last locate our first gloves, and all that opened was 2 checks. So we were pretty quick to those mitts after the first glove.
I was glad when I found it. I accidentally did Spiral Cave as my before I did Hera. So instead I did Spiral, then to Ether, then to Hera. When I realized there was an item back in Hera, thankfully it was the gloves.
Yeah.
That ice rod though, finding it in the bottom half of Hookshot.
It was shaping up to be actually Dark Death Mountain was loaded.
Hype Cave was pretty good too. Having the flute in there.
So
Let's located that.
Yeah, our route after getting into Dark World, we actually rushed pod as much as pod as we can and as we could. Went north, kind of circled into right. I think we circled like north to Village of Outcasts, and I even mentioned like Hype Cave's right there, but we were like we'll get it on the loop.
Yeah, for us, we were just wrestling, but we were basically wrestling with tech issues this entire time, and just it was tough, but I basically we just said let's just go verbal communication from there.
Yeah,
wasn't good, but whatever.
Good seed either way.
Yeah, it was it was an appropriate seed. I think you requested chaos, right?
Oh yeah, when I saw boots on Spec Rock, I knew it was going to be a chaos seed.
That was the first time I've ever had to teach someone about the fact that you keep the light cone in standard.
Right.
Yeah, I straight up said I just told him straight up, yeah, the light cone's there. The light cone's still you still keep light cone when you're in standard.
Which I forgot about, to be honest. I legitimately said, hey, I'm going to go back and do the back half of Escape, forgetting I didn't have the lamp. And then when he said, oh yeah, you still have the light cone, I was like, well, now I'm definitely going to go back there.
Well, yeah, that's because that's standard for whatever reason just gives you the standard because it assumes you don't have the lamp cone in standard.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that forced light cone, then on standard start you would basically be forced to start with the lamp.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's rare for it to come up in a situation where it does come up, but it will come up.
Professor, it seems like we did have a major divergence actually. Where we did the Bombos tablet when we did Swamp, they actually last locationed it.
We almost last located it, but all we had left was Desert Palace, which was really just going to be killing Landmo and Misery Mire.
Yeah, what ended up doing was that we ended up last locationing the mitts just because it just ended up showing up in a bad spot. I was like when I remarked that wait, Bombo's you said Bombo's a Bombo stand like that's a cute spot for it.
Right?
How adorable.
Is this even randomized?
Basically, we last located gloves, basically, and because that only opened 2 checks, really, we had more incentive to go to Spike Cave. So we got the bit super quick after that.
Right, yeah. I had we did Aga just with the fact that we still had 3 Spear 1s left to go. I was well, by doing this you are taking a gamble on if the glove is here in the Dark World Aga required.
Yeah, the only check we had left before we pulled the trigger on Aga was Sick Kid, and we were not doing that. We last located Lamp.
Yeah, we opted we were. I actually was telling them just wait on Gina, and then when he had the idea for Aga, I'm like, okay, well, I'll stick with it because that is a play you can do just play off of gamble, which it worked out. Yeah. I mean, although it was it was actually not that bad. I personally think it's not too bad. It's a little weird, yeah, but it's it was actually kind of fun to route that.
It's a pretty linear seed until you get your mitts.
Yeah.
From there, even he said that. Oh, we have all of Smith chain, and it had to be a lot of different places after that.
Right. Yeah.
It was great. After picking up the mirror and then the mitts right afterwards, just seeing the tracker just light up in a sea of green.
Yeah, that. That's always a nice feeling about it. It's you have when you have a bunch of stuff and you don't need to clear. It's all just all these logic items you just don't need to clear, and it just
tracker
in your go mode. it's like it feels so satisfying.
I guess a map tracker would have helped. All I had was just the item tracker, because I more or less was trying to keep track of it mostly in my head.
Yeah,
Oh.
I highly recommend a map checker. That's what I've been using to give you give you ideas on where you want to go, because I always use a map checker, like no questions asked.
And emo tracker's pretty easy to set up as well.
Yeah.
And out of the box, like with the auto tracking, with the map, with the items, and you can even, yeah, it works both really well, just kind of to keep an eye on, and then also to put on stream as well.
Yes.
Well, that's what I have the emo tracker for my item tracker, and I have it on my OBS. I just don't have it as a map tracker anymore.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That was still really fun. I kind of want to go back and finish the seed later on, but Lumaga just said that I was going to be one of the commentators for tonight's 10:30 match.
Oh, heck
Nice.
yeah!
It's starting in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, you might as well get in there now.
It's down into the GMP Twitch crew voice chat, right?
Yes,
All
all
right.
the way down there. Well, you get into the green room first, and then they'll pull you in.
Okay, I'm
So-
gonna load it up on my laptop then real quick.
Finch, if there's anything you want to go over post race, I'm still available for the rest of the night.
All right, I'm probably gonna honestly catch my Zeds, because it's I didn't get, we stopped at around 11. Also, Ben, by the way, Slowpoke in my chat says good luck, have fun with comms.
Thank you.
So, and also GG.
GG, you played very well. Like I was watching you play your Emerald the other day, and I was really, when I saw how well your layout was, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a tough race.
Well, there is a difference between a overlay, and actually I made that overlay. If you need, if you ever want any help with overlays, actually Orange is also really cool. I really like Orange. I was checking out your channel the other day, and I really like your Link to the Past overlay as well.
It's pretty simple to the point, but thank you.
If you're down for another race later on this week, if you can find time, we can try it for another race.
Hey, I'd be good with that. I would be down with that. I'll have to. It'll probably be like Friday or Saturday, but yeah, I'd be good with that.
I can do either one of those up until about 3 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So like we could start at like 11 o'clock or noon, and that would work out perfectly for me.
Okay. So we'll chat about it later, because I know you're, I guess, at 14 minutes until your race starts, as well. But yeah, great race, GG again, and hopefully see you later in this tournament.
Yeah, GG. That was a really, really fun seed. I was waiting for more chaos.
I'm glad, yeah, between I'm glad that it was the chaos that you were looking for.
Fire Rod and Argus, he and I were talking about it as it popped up. And it's like, oh, we gotta go find Fire Rod. It's like, nope, it's right here on Argus.
Right. Also, how'd you like the Tempered Sword on?
I didn't try it. I was stuck with Master Sword.
Oh shoot! Right. So Helma.
Helma has your third sword. It's unavoidable.
Oh my god, no! I never found it, and I am terrible at Silverless. Like I was attempting it earlier today, knowing that I had no idea how to do Silverless, and I was praying to God I wasn't gonna have to do it. Then we didn't find a single bow. It's like, oh no, please don't do this to me.
Yeah, silvers are available this seed. I just don't know where in Light World they are.
Yeah, and I might go through and probably tomorrow, because again Zeds, but just to try to find them, or if you want to continue the seed. I mean, you know where the bow is now, so
yeah,
it's probably on Magic Bat.
It's a pretty good chance, yeah.
There's a 1 in 3 chance it's on Magic Bat. It depends on whether or not you still have the mushroom.
We did not. We used it to get the red mail.
Okay, so you're gonna have to find powder then, because the only checks we had left with that light world hint was green pendant turn in, magic bat, and why is it escaping me right now?
Dig spot.
Dig spot, dig
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah,
Because
shovel.
the shovel was on Trinex, and we're in Go Bones. We're not doing that.
I never even. Yeah, I was just entering TR when it popped up. You finished.
Yeah, the shovel is on Trinex, so
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Although that would, because you didn't have the bow yet, that would have probably allowed you that check. Like you would have been able to at least check that, and at that point you've also got desert. So actually you're probably in a better position to find that to find those silvers.
Probably.
And I mean, I don't really like tooting my own horn, but I think my Ganon phase 4 actually went pretty well tonight.
it was pretty clean.
That was the first time that I got like triples in general.
I feel I always get the worst luck with Aga 2.
Aga 2 was butts. Aga 2 is terrible. We're not.
So, I'm kind of glad we actually did a practice seed together yesterday, because going into this match, between last seed and this seed, I can honestly say that I can definitely tell that you've gotten more confident.
Thank you. And
that confidence was showing in your execution. You had a very good Mothula fight. You were getting triples on Ganon. You had no problems at all against Helma.
Honestly, Professor taught me some good ones because I didn't know how to do Harapot, and now I'm doing it every single time.
Oh heck yeah! And Harapot, and because I think I saw snippets of your VOD, because that was just earlier today, right? That you were practicing as well.
Yes. Yes.
Because the bomb setup is that's as low percentage equipment as you can get. Like I guess, well, bombs and hook shot, but yeah, that's going to be the most consistent way. Would have loved to have the boots a little bit earlier. I think it took me two tries orange?
2 tries for what?
For Harapot.
I want to say you got it first try, actually.
And either way, bombs are nice. or sorry, boots are nice. And yeah, what a boots location.
I went up the stairs, I looked at it, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be one of those. Okay.
All right. Well,
I would personally like to go catch Brett's race because he's a friend of mine.
Oh, absolutely. Go for it. Thank you again, Orange, so much for helping me, for mentoring me, for kind of walking me through some of the plays, and just and yeah, for mentoring me, especially just over these past 24 hours.
It was my pleasure.
I guess 26 hours, but yeah.
I'd be happy to do it again if you need a nighttime mentor.
Well, the good news is, hey, same time zone, so.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head over to the voice chat because it looks like they're getting ready. Everyone else is in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have fun. Hope comms go well. I'll listen along. And yeah, y'all take it easy.
You too.
Take care.
You too. Bye.